Okay, so if you want to get started with growing your business using Facebook ads, but you don't know anything about it, you don't know where to get started, then I'm going to go over that in this video series. This is part two of the video series. In part one, I went over some terminology and talked about the difference between campaigns, ad sets, and ads. I think that's probably the first question most people are going to have. I know that was the first question or one of the first questions that I have when I started working with Facebook ads. What's the difference between a campaign, an ad set, and an ad? If you haven't watched that video yet, or if you don't yet know the difference, you definitely want to go back and watch that video. Today, what I'm going to go over is how to set up a campaign and a couple of different objectives, right? Because we talked about in the first video, a campaign is objective based. Every ad or every ad set within the campaign shares the same objective. And we're going to go over what some of those objectives are. I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to go into it live. So I'm in my ads manager right now. Hopefully you have an ads manager account set up. I included a link in the caption or the description of that first video to make sure that you get to that point. Now, when you get in, again, you see here at the top, campaigns, ad sets, and ads. I shouldn't say at the top, it's kind of in the middle of the screen, but it's at the top of this. They kind of make it look like a file folder or a file cabinet or something like that with these tabs that stick up. And of course, these are all my campaigns. So I'm looking at campaigns. These are a list of campaigns that I've already run, or some of them I've set up and never even ran them. So we're not going to look at my existing campaigns right now. Yours is probably blank, or maybe you've logged into Ads Manager and messed around a little bit, got stuck, maybe even ran some ads and campaigns and probably didn't get much success if you didn't necessarily know what you were doing when setting up the objective, for the campaigns. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new one here. Create new campaign. First thing it's going to ask me is the buying type. Now, I don't mess with this. You have two options here, auction or reservation. I leave that at auction. I've studied this, not a ton, but enough to know what to do with my business here. And that's my goal for you, is to get you started so that you can run some very simple ad campaigns for your small business. That said, I've never seen anybody recommend using the reservation buying type as opposed to the auction. So next thing is campaign objectives. This is what I want to go over here in this video. There are 6 different types of campaign objectives: awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, app promotion, and sales. You can see this here. Now, depending on what kind of business you run, if you are selling a product, maybe you're selling a very simple consumer product, t-shirts, cups, I don't know, any type of relatively inexpensive merchandise, you may go straight for sales as the campaign objective. Your ad may be a picture of a t-shirt and somebody clicks on a link and it takes them to your website to buy that product, right? That's one ad objective. Now, if you are in a more of a service type business, such as myself, I'm in real estate. I am not selling houses based off of, Facebook ads. Now, I might be bringing awareness. I may be scheduling appointments or scheduling phone calls to talk about a house or something like that, but nobody is going online and clicking a few buttons and boom, I bought a house, right? If you're a lawyer, a doctor, a dentist, a chiropractor, any of these things, sales is probably not going to be your main objective. Now, if you are a new small business that just opened up with a brick and mortar location, just as an example, you may decide you want to do an awareness campaign. And you can see here some sort of subtypes, or I guess it says good for. So these are examples. You need more reach for your existing business. You want to get some more brand awareness around your business. Video views is a type of awareness, and that's one that I particularly like, that I'll talk about more in a second. And then store location awareness. Again, you just opened a brick and mortar. You want to advertise to a certain neighborhood and let them know, like, hey, we just opened on Main Street. Come stop by, check us out. They're not going to interact with the ad. They're going to see the ad, make a mental note, and then hopefully come to the business, right? Traffic. This would be online traffic. Link clicks, landing page views, or they say Messenger, Instagram, or calls, right? So let's say you have a service type business, or it could be it could be a pizza shop. You want people to click a button, and assuming they're on their phone, it's going to prompt them to dial a phone number. Your phone number is going to lead to them calling you and ordering food, or doing something like that. A link click is going to take them obviously to your website. Now, you're going to want to be, I don't want to say careful, but you want to listen to the rest of the campaign types and objectives that I'm going to go over here before you jump right to, okay, I want link clicks. Again, maybe you're selling a product. I want to get it, I'm selling it off my website. I want to get as many people as possible to go to my website. The more people that go to my website, the more sales I'll potentially get. That may or may not be true. A lot of what happens with these objectives has to do with conversions, and I'll talk more about that in a second. Engagement, you can see here it says Messenger, Instagram, video views, post engagement, conversions, or calls. This could be somebody liking one of your Facebook posts. This could be somebody commenting on one of your Facebook posts, watching one of your videos, or leaving a message. If you are trying to, take posts and use that post or that ad to engage with your clients in a one-to-one messaging, or if you're using like a ManyChat or some sort of messenger chat bot, engagement might be a good objective for you. You're looking to engage with the clients. Ultimately, probably that's going to lead to an appointment or a consultation, some sort of a discovery call type of thing. Leads. Leads is when they are actually leaving you their information so that you can follow up with them. You probably have lead campaigns. Again, if you're in a business where it's a longer sales cycle, such as myself, I'm in real estate. Sometimes somebody calls us and they're ready to go right now. A lot of the times people are finding us online and they just have a lot of questions. We want to capture their information so that we can stay in touch with them long term and nurture that relationship over time. That relationship is going to lead to business down the road. That is how I like to define the word leads. And what does that actually mean? Instant forms is a form on Facebook that they would fill out with their information. Of course, Facebook already knows all their information. You maybe clicked on one of these and it popped up. All the information's already there. You just say submit. Messenger and Instagram, again, that could be a lead form on Messenger or Instagram or a chatbot or any type of something that's going to capture leads. Conversions and calls. So conversions would be like on your website, and I'll go into conversions now. So conversions are going to be tracked by Facebook pixels. You've probably heard about Facebook pixels. I may or may not do another video entirely on these, but I think this is a good time to go into what is a pixel. If you are driving traffic to your website, you're going to want to have a Facebook pixel on your website. That is how Facebook knows, hey, the objective of this campaign was to gather leads. Brian set up a lead campaign. Someone clicked on it. It took them to Brian's website, where they then typed in all of their information on Brian's website and they registered for something. Maybe it's a consultation. Maybe it's to go and look at a house, right? That pixel is tracking that conversion. That is the only way that Facebook knows if the ad or the campaign that I'm running is working. Now, if you do a lead form or an instant form, that's on the Facebook app. So you don't need the pixel. Facebook knows that somebody typed in their information and submitted a lead form or an instant form, because it happened on Facebook. Once they go off of Facebook and they're onto your website, the only way Facebook can track what they did on your website is if you have that pixel installed and installed correctly. Now, both of those things are good. Of course, with privacy settings and everything now, you've probably heard people talk about iOS 14. It's a couple years old at this point, but that was one of the things that Apple did that Facebook really didn't like, because it kind of weakened their ability to track those conversions with those pixels. And of course, Apple's thing was, well, it's more privacy for our users. Whole nother topic there. But keep that in mind when you're looking at conversions. Same thing when we get down here to sales. Now, app promotion, if you are a developer and you have an app and you're trying to market it on the App Store, then somebody's going to click on something that's going to take them to the App Store. They're going to download that app. And of course, you're going to need some sort of conversion, built into the app. I don't know a whole lot about app development, but I would assume there's a way of tracking that. Otherwise, Facebook wouldn't know, and that wouldn't be one of their campaigns. But let's look at sales again, conversions. Somebody goes on your website and they order a shirt. Let's just say you're selling shirts, of course. Somebody goes on and they order a shirt. If you have the pixel set up correctly and the customer's privacy settings allow, then Facebook knows, hey, that was a sale. When Facebook knows that they got you a sale, they've got the algorithms and everything. They start to see what they did right leading up to that point, and then they go out and do more of that to maximize, your campaign budget, right? So Facebook wants you to convert, and of course, there's a lot of things that you need to do within your ad copy and all of that. But that is why setting up these campaign objectives is so important. If your objective is sales, but you set it up as an awareness campaign, or you set it up as a traffic campaign to drive traffic to your website, Facebook is going to maximize the number of people that are going to your website. When somebody goes to your website, Facebook says, hey, that was our goal. Let's do more of what we did leading up to that point. That person didn't necessarily buy anything. Maybe it's not the right customer, right? Now, if your campaign objective is sales and people go to your website and they don't order, then Facebook starts to learn from that and show your ad to other groups of people, whatever that might look like. And of course, when we get into more about ad sets, and you heard me talk about this in the first video, maybe you have different audiences, different targeting, different placements on different platforms, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, where you have some control over who you're actually showing those ad sets to or showing those ads to. But Facebook wants to work with you to actually get those conversions, because if your objective is sales and you don't get any sales, then Facebook knows, obviously, you're not going to keep running that ad campaign forever. At some point, you're going to say, this isn't working, and you're going to stop doing it. That's what happens with most people, is they set up the campaign objective incorrectly and it doesn't work, or at least maybe it is working, but they don't have that tracking or conversion to know that it's working, and neither does Facebook for that matter. So, it just runs until the budget runs out or whatever happens, and it's not good. So you want to get serious about tracking your conversions, and you want to allow Facebook to track your conversions by setting up that pixel, and or making sure that you're using the right kind of campaign objective. Again, I go back here to leads. One of the things that I'm a big fan of is the instant forms, because Facebook knows when somebody types in their information on an instant form, they never left the Facebook platform, and Facebook can track everything that happens on their platform. It's only after they leave the platform that it gets a little different. Another thing that I want to point out here, I talked about the engagement and video views. One thing you're going to want to probably do with your ads is retargeting. I like to be able to retarget. If I showed a video to somebody and they watch the video, I can create an audience based on how long they watch that video. Facebook gives me a lot of control, or Meta, I should say, gives me a lot of control because it has a lot of data. If somebody watched a video on their platform, they can see if they watched it for 3 seconds, 10 seconds, if they watch 50% of the video, if they watch a minute of the video. There's a whole bunch of different things there. I can then put those people into an audience and then retarget them with a different ad objective later. So maybe I posted a video that I want to get people to watch. It's an informative video about the real estate market, or again, think of examples that would apply to your business. Somebody watches that video for 30 seconds. Well, that person's now interested, I would say they're interested in the real estate market if they took the time to watch that video for that long. It's not a guarantee, but it's more likely that they're interested than somebody who didn't watch the 30-second video. So maybe I want to retarget that person. They didn't do anything. They didn't go to my website. They didn't buy a house. They just watched a video. And now I'm going to go and retarget that audience. And we'll talk more about audiences in another video. But somebody watched the video Facebook knows that because it happened on their platform. And now I can say, show all of those people an instant, a lead ad with an instant form. So now I'm just further qualifying them. Hey, you watched a 30-second video about the real estate market. Are you interested in the real estate market? Now, that's probably not what the ad copy would actually say, but we know in the back of our minds, hey, this person watched a video for 30 seconds about the real estate market. Are you interested in the real estate market? If so, click here. When they click here, it opens up the form and they type in their information. Now I can call them. Now I can email them. Now I can send them more information about the real estate market if they want. And I'm taking them, kind of off Facebook and into my CRM or into my database to be able to do that. So retargeting is another thing that is huge. I like video views for that. I touched on the instant forms a little bit. Another thing with retargeting, if you are in a sales business, maybe you've had this happen to you before where you go onto one of these websites and you look at a t-shirt. Again, I keep using that example, but you look at a t-shirt, maybe you add it to the cart, you look at what the shipping cost is, or whatever you do when you add something to the cart and then you don't check out. It's sitting in your cart, but you haven't checked out, you haven't purchased it. You go back on Facebook and you start seeing ads like, hey, you forgot something, right? Or they just start showing you that shirt over and over again, or like 15 other companies are now showing you the same shirt that they also sell, right? They are tracking through pixels on that website the fact that, hey, this person, they took an action, they didn't convert all the way to a sale, but they converted to adding that item to their cart. There's a certain thing you can do within the pixel so that when somebody clicks that add to cart button, it sends a signal back to Facebook, and now Facebook knows, hey, they added this to the cart, but nothing happened after that. We didn't receive any other signals. So now you can have it might be another sales objective, another campaign set up to retarget to those people. So that's a look at different campaign types and different campaign objectives. Hopefully that will help to clarify for you and for your business, what you're looking to do and what you need to do, what your goal is before you go about setting up an ad.